Don Westfall along with Dan McCarger one more time here from downtown Mankato tonight before we close out our broadcast and get set for tomorrow night's rematch between the Wildcats and the Mavericks. MSU Mankato falls tonight to Northern Michigan by a 3-1 score. Basically, it was a one-goal game with the empty netter by Nowick at the end. Just it followed the storyline like we told you a couple hours ago. Like Mike Hastings told us before the game, it's we're gonna outshoot them. We're gonna have a lot of shots. They're gonna come from a distance. We need to get dirty. We need to get between the circles. We need to get second and third opportunities. And if we don't do that, Maverick fans, we're gonna lose. And they lost.
These coaches know what they're talking about a lot of times, and that's exactly the way it turned out. An odd man rush, really the difference in the game, but it starts out with the first goal of the game for Kieran Nowick, his 8th of the season from Dominic Shine and Derek Tide at 8:33. That made it 1-0 Wildcats. Here is a turnover, and Brett Knowles, all alone, shorthanded, his 3rd of the season, 11:34, ties the game at 1 apiece. Turnover just outside the blue line. Skates to the middle. They just allow him to have as much ice as he wants, and he scores, and we're all tied at 1 after 1 period to play. Second period, Dominic Shine, an odd man rush here from Payne and Nowick with an absolute blistering shot at 13:56, makes it 2-1. Ends up being the game-winning goal right there. An empty netter by Nowick at 19:09 to finish off the scoring. 3-1 final score.
So it's a 3-1 game to win tonight for Northern Michigan. But as far as our game stats go, you're going to see that the Mavericks double up as far as shots on goal over Northern Michigan, 42-20. We obviously, again, just talked to Coach Hastings about the power play, and the Mavericks unable to convert on their 3 opportunities. Face-offs 30-30, very even contest. 2 teams that coming into tonight. Mavericks first in the conference. Northern Michigan was 5th, but again, really no indication. We knew it was going to be a closely contested contest, and it was. Northern Michigan playing better than their record. And as you just talked about with Coach Hastings, Mavericks get to come. At least this is the first of the 2-game series. This would be a tough one if it's tomorrow night's contest, and I would imagine the Mavericks tomorrow night going to come out a little more spirit in their skates.
You know, there were flashes, though, in the first. Probably the first 10 minutes of the second, probably the first 7 minutes of the third period where the Mavericks looked pretty good, just not able to put the puck away. That's something they're going to have to get figured out before tomorrow night. Probably play closer to 60 minutes of hockey than 30 minutes of hockey that they did tonight.
Let's take a look at our play of the game. And, of course, for Maverick fans here on the Maverick broadcast, we have really one to choose from, and it is our JBL Real Estate play of the game. JBL Real Estate Group does little things that makes a big difference, and that is the shorthanded tally by Brett Knowles, his 3rd goal of the season. And Mavericks there benefiting from the turnover, but when your only goal, just the shorthanded tally, no even strength goals, no power play goals, part of the formula tonight for the Mavericks 3-1 loss. It's, not only that was our score. Let's take a look at some of the other scores around the WCHA this evening.
Bowling Green beats Lake Superior State, who we'll see next week. Actually, we won't see them. The Mavericks will. Bemidji State and Alaska coming up. Alaska leads Huntsville 6-3 in the 3rd. Michigan Tech over Connecticut tonight 4-2. St. Cloud leads Colorado in the 3rd. Denver shut out UNO tonight. UNO just started out blistering this year, but they've struggled lately. 1-1 overtime tie for UMD and Miami tonight. Michigan last, Michigan State 9-2. Ohio State shuts out Wisconsin. Gophers lose to Penn State in overtime. That's their 2nd overtime loss in a row. UMass Lowell over New Hampshire 1-0 tonight, and BC over Providence 7-3.
So as you just were told by Dan McCarger, Bowling Green with the win tonight. So they now are in a first-place tie with Minnesota State Mankato, both teams with 22 points in the conference. And for the Mavericks, before they head on the road next weekend to Michigan Tech, a big, big game tomorrow night for them.
It's seriously a big game, because if you let that one slip away, all of a sudden everybody in the conference is going to say, hey, there's a chink in this armor. Mavericks need to take care of the home ice tomorrow night. I'm sure they will. They'll come out and play a much better game. They'll have played a game now rather than having 3 weeks since they played a game, so they'll be able to turn it around. I think we'll have a really good effort tomorrow night. 3,100
plus saw. We are hoping that you're in the building tomorrow night, but if you're not, we know that we're going to be joining us back here on Charter Communication again, 7 o'clock, the pregame show, 7:07 the face-off from the Verizon Wireless Center in downtown Mankato. For Dan McCarger and myself, Don Westfall, and the rest of the students from Bethany Lutheran College, we thank you for watching tonight, where one more time, our final score, Northern Michigan 3, Minnesota State Mankato 1. We'll see you tomorrow night.